The girl tried everything she could just to get herself thrown back into the cold palace. Not long after she transmigrated here, the emperor had her confined and banished there. The system reassured her that if she stayed there for 99 full days, she would get a huge sum of money and return to the real world. So she turned the cold palace into a sort of entertainment hub, enjoying herself with the other banished concubines. Whenever guards passed by, she would pretend to grieve and call out the emperor's name. But those good times didn't last long. One day, the emperor granted a general amnesty and restored the ranks of all concubines from the cold palace. As soon as she was released, she was summoned by the Empress Dowager. The girl tried to access her memories through the system, but it told her she was just an NPC, and NPC memories weren't stored. She had no choice but to go see the Empress Dowager nervously. The Empress Dowager questioned why she had failed to carry out her task of spying on the emperor, and instead jumped into a lake and made him furious. The girl quickly made up an excuse, saying she had slipped. Hearing this, the Empress Dowager decided to give her one last chance. When the girl returned to her palace, she asked her maid about her background. It turned out the body she was in belonged to the only daughter of a border general. After being sent to the palace, she had become a pawn of the Empress Dowager, who had long been at odds with the emperor. The girl figured the safest move was to get back to the cold palace as soon as possible. So the next day, she got up early to make soup. A concubine passed by and scolded her for trying to win the emperor's favor behind their backs. The girl had no choice but to tell her the soup was meant to make him hate her completely. The concubine joined in right away after hearing the plan. They imagined the emperor would fly into a rage after drinking the awful soup, then banish them to the cold palace forever. Yet the emperor said he had a cold and tried to refuse the soup. Seeing this, the girl cut him off, rushed up to his throne, and poured the soup straight into his mouth. The emperor almost choked. The eunuch scolded her for showing severe disrespect. She was eagerly waiting for the order to banish her to the cold palace. However, the emperor fell silent. After drinking the soup, all the discomfort from his cold had gone away. He even thought her rude behavior was just her way of showing concern. With that thought, he issued an imperial decree awarding her 100 taels of gold. The girl left with the gold, looking heavy-hearted. She ran into some other consorts who mocked her for showing off her newfound favor. One of them seemed especially down. She was the emperor's childhood friend and his most favored consort. That gave the girl a new idea. In short dramas, scheming women who framed the female lead always got the male lead angry. She studied a few storybooks for inspiration, then headed to the garden before the emperor arrived. It was the favored concubine's birthday that day. The girl deliberately mocked her for dressing up carefully yet failing to be chosen by the emperor for the night, then waited for her to get angry and complain to him. But instead, the favored concubine held her hand, saying that the girl was the only person in the palace who remembered her birthday. The girl thought she hadn't been vicious enough. She took off her own hairpin and threw it on the ground, claiming it had been a gift from the emperor and she no longer wanted it. She tried to humiliate the favored concubine this way. Yet the favored concubine picked it up, deeply moved. She thought the girl had come all the way just to celebrate her birthday and even brought such a precious gift.